Hello everybody and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm here in Coral Gables, Florida at the beautiful and historic Biltmore Hotel, as you can see here from my room. And since I did a few photo shoots while I'm here on vacation in South Florida, I thought I'd share a few tips on how to go about booking shoots with models while traveling anywhere in the country. So also stay tuned until the very end of the video for an added bonus tip. Of course, I'd appreciate if you go ahead and like this video, share a comment with any additional questions or tips that you might have about how you go about booking models when you're traveling. And of course, I would love for you to subscribe to the channel. I have a lot of new content that's coming as I'm newly relaunching this site, and I hope that you enjoy the content and that you subscribe so that you can not miss any of that content that's coming. So with that, we're going to dive into my top 5 tips for connecting with beautiful talent for photo shoots while you're traveling anywhere in the country. Tip number 5. Leverage a local modeling agency. You can look for a reputable modeling agency in the area in which you're traveling to. Just a simple Google search will help you to find one of those agencies. They can connect you with professional models who are experienced in photo shoots and may be available for collaboration. This is particularly useful if it's a commercial shoot and you're looking for a very specific look, the type of model that's going to work best with the product line or the type of company you're partnered up with. Most likely this will cost you a little bit more money, and the agency might have a little bit more control over the end use of the photos as well as the content you're creating as it aligns to either their brand or the brand of the model. But personally, I've never done this one, as I typically am not doing commercial photo shoots. This is more of a hobby for me. So I still think this is a very valid point and still a great option for finding talent, but it's not one that I personally have used all that much. Tip number 4, leverage your network of models. If this isn't your first ever shoot, you probably have a network of models you've previously have worked with. And there's a great chance that those models know other models. So no matter where you're traveling to, there's a good chance, especially if you've worked with models that have traveled all over the country or gone to group events or gone to networking related events across the country, they probably know other models they can connect you with. The nice bonus to this is they can likely put in a good word for you with that model, making it more likely they'll respond and want to work with you as well. There's a really good chance that model's not going to refer you to someone who's not a great model, who's not accountable, is not somebody you'd want to work with. So this is a great way to find great talent no matter where you're traveling. Tip number 3, collaborate with local photographers. Of course, photographers in the area that you're traveling to, if they work with models, they know models, obviously. This is a pretty obvious one, but sometimes it's overlooked and is one of those tips that people just don't think about. So connect with other photographers in the area which you'll be traveling to and see if they have any top recommendations they can provide to you. If you don't want to contact them directly, or if you don't hear back from them, you can also kind of troll their page a little bit. Take a look at the models they've worked with, link over to those models because they usually are tagging those models in their posts, say on Instagram. And then you can go from there to leverage those connections, reach out to them and say, hey, I happen to see your work done by another photographer in the area. I'm a photographer that's based on the Pittsburgh area. I'll be traveling to your area and would also like to work with you if possible. Very similar to getting referrals from other models, you're likely going to get somebody that's kind of pre-screened by that photographer. So they're not going to, again, refer you to individuals that aren't worth your time working with. So again, I think this is another great tip of asking other photographers who they'd recommend in their area that you potentially collaborate with. This also aligns to tip number 1, which we'll get here to in a minute. Tip number 2 on how you can find models while you're traveling. You can utilize specific websites that are used by models and photographers to connect to each other. The best example of this is Model Mayhem. While I'm not personally as active on that as I used to be, and I don't think the site overall is as active as it used to be, I still think it's a great resource to connect with models that you might want to connect with and do work with while you're traveling. If you're a member of the site, you can actually post a travel notice. You can search for models by location, and you can see if other models might be actually traveling to the same destination that you're going to, and the two of you can connect while you're there. Even if you don't have an account with them, you can still search for talent on Model Mayhem. A lot of people don't know that. You just have to hope that the model actually has contact information, like maybe her social media connections, listed on her profile so that you can reach out, since you won't be able to communicate directly through the website. And my number 1 tip, based on my experience of how you can go about finding models while you're traveling, is to utilize social media. Again, this is probably a no-brainer, something you're probably already thinking of, but platforms like Instagram, Facebook, TikTok are great ways to search for local models, especially by using relevant hashtags or location tags. Many models have their portfolios online and use these platforms to showcase their work. Also, having their contact information available on their profiles makes it a lot easier to reach out to them directly. Personally, I found the best use using Instagram. I simply search for hashtags for the area which I'm traveling to, and then add model to that name. So for example, here in Florida, I simply type in hashtag Miami model or hashtag Florida model, and I can usually find a plethora of individuals to potentially work with. You can also search, as we talked about a little bit earlier, you can also search for hashtags for the photographer as well. And that would simply just be a change of Miami photographer, Florida photographer, in the example of being here in Florida. Of course, once you're on these social media platforms, it gives you the opportunity to see their portfolio of work. You can see the variety of photographers they worked with, the style that they typically shoot in, the type of content they might be comfortable doing, their ability to pose. And if you're looking for a particular look for a shoot, of course, you can navigate through a variety of profiles and find the particular look of the model that you're looking to work with while you're traveling. Some models will also post links to their website where you can see their rates, or you can book a shoot directly through their website. Others may have a pinned story or details in the description about their rates, or if they're open to doing things like trade work. So now it's time for my bonus tip. This kind of goes hand in hand with my social media suggestion, but I just wanted to give you an additional little tip on how to message the models through a platform like Instagram. You obviously want to send them a direct message, but also I'd recommend that you post a comment on one of their photos so that they know that you've sent them a message as well. Of course, your direct message is going to be something like, "Hi, I'm Scott. I'm a Pittsburgh-based photographer. I'm actually going to be traveling to your area," in Miami, for example, "and I'd love to do a photo shoot with you. I took a look at your work. I like the work that you've done so far, and I think we could collaborate on some really phenomenal work together. So get back in touch with me. Here's the dates that I'm going to be traveling into your area. I'd love to hear from you, and let's talk about some details." The message is as simple as that. So in addition to sending a DM, one of the other things I love to do that'll get a model's attention is I'll post a comment on one of her photos. You know, models tend to be bombarded with messages from people wanting to connect with them, whether it's for shoots, maybe for other reasons. So a lot of times, even though they're well-intentioned, they might not actually see your message in their DMs until it's too late, or if at all. So I like to make a comment on one of their photos, something like, "Hey, this is a great image. I sent you a DM about shooting while in your area. I'd love to connect." I hope you found this video helpful. I shared a couple of the tips from my experience of doing photo shoots all over the country. Some things that you might have just think about from a different perspective. And I encourage you again to like this video if you got some value out of it. Leave a comment, leave any questions that you have. Of course, I'd greatly appreciate you subscribing as I continue to try to grow this channel. And we'll be adding more content soon.